By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the note I left hanging on the door. She'll laugh when she reads the part that says I'm leaving, 'cause I've left that girl so many times before. Words by Glen Campbell and Jimmy Webb. Let's take a trip through the Glen Campbell Museum and Rhinestone Stage in Nashville, Tennessee. I visited there about 4 or 5 days ago, and it was quite interesting. The stuff that I learned that I didn't know before. And even if you don't have to be a country music lover, if you're just a music lover, this might be kind of interesting for you. So anyway, here we go. As a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Glen sold over 45 million records, and those included 12 gold albums, 4 platinum albums. He was awarded several CMA, AMC, and Grammy Awards, and he was also the only singer nominated for a country music song, which he wrote for an Oscar. And here we have a little mini theater where people can go in and sit down and watch all of Glen's television programs. Glen became part of a group of session musicians, probably one of the most famous session musician group, and it was called the Wrecking Crew, and they played with such musicians and groups as the Beach Boys, Gary Lewis and the Playboys, the Carpenters, Simon and Garfunkel, Miles Davis, Ella Fitzgerald, Elvis, the Righteous Brothers, Ike and Tina Turner, the Mamas and the Papas, Harry Nilsson, Sam Cooke, Stevie Wonder, the Supremes, the Temptations, the Four Tops, and many, many more. Of course, this is how he started his professional career as a studio musician, and then he branched off with his own music shortly thereafter. Of course, his popularity did lead to his contract with Capitol Record, and he had most of his hits with them. And then he had the Glen Campbell Good Time Hour television show, which followed the Smothers Brothers on TV, and that meant that he was ranked number 2 for quite a while. He was offered a major role in a film called True Grit, and he was asked to sing the song, which was nominated for an Oscar. And besides all this, he co-starred with John Wayne. In 1969, film director Henry Hathaway met with Elvis Presley's agent, Colonel Tom Parker, to discuss a movie role for the singer. The movie, of course, was True Grit, and the meeting ended when Colonel Parker demanded that Elvis get top billing over John Wayne. Of course, they never met again, and the part went to Glen, who not only co-starred with Mr. Wayne, but he also wrote and performed the song that did get the nomination for the Oscar. This looked like fun. It was a sing-along booth that you could sing with Glen this song, Rhinestone Cowboy. You go in, you do your part, and then you hit a button, and then he's singing the duet with you. And did I do it? No. But that doesn't mean you should. I found this wall pretty interesting. It's a picture of Glen throughout the decades that he performed and how he had changed. And following this is a display dedicated to his interest in golf. He did have a tournament that went on for several years, and you'll see some of the awards, the trophies that they gave away. And of course, here is the outfit that he wore in the Rhinestone Cowboy video, and that's there. There's a lot of outfits that he wore in different videos, different performances that are in glass here. And of course, in the beginning, I quoted one of Glen's works with Jimmy Webb, By the Time I Get to Phoenix. With Mr. Webb, he also wrote Galveston and Wichita Lineman, and he had several hits of his own that he wrote solo. The guy was incredible. Glen Campbell was diagnosed with Alzheimer's in 2011. He put out 2 albums and went on a world tour following the diagnosis. Kim Campbell, his wife, said the tour was his way to help him combat the disease and spend time with family members, including his daughter Debbie, who was in the band and traveled with him. A section of the museum is dedicated to the close relationship he had with his wife and children. In 2014, while on his farewell tour, he and his family shared the nature of the disease, demonstrating both positive and more difficult moments. During this time, the film I'll Be Me was released, sharing these last public days with everyone. The title song, I'm Not Going to Miss You, was written by Glen as a love song to his wife, and was released and nominated for Song of the Year. Besides being a museum, this is also a pretty interesting entertainment venue. They put on small shows with some of the best songwriters and performers in the Nashville area for people to enjoy. And I want to add that this is probably one of the best museums that I have visited in the Nashville area since I began this channel. Well, that was kind of a blunt ending. I apologize, but I wanted you to see everything that I got on tape. And there's a lot more to see at the Glen Campbell Museum. And so if you come to Nashville, check it out. We're also going to have some visits to the Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, Willie Nelson, and even the Dukes of Hazzard's Museum. I'm going to do a much longer visit in the future. And if there's anything you'd like to see, let me know in the comments, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out. And so thank you for stopping by, Hit subscribe if you'd like to. Hit the bell if you want notifications. And just have a great day, okay?